At what point does a pattern start feeling like meaning? Maybe that's where astrology began. Not as science, not even as belief exactly, but as a human reaction to repetition. Because once you notice that something returns, you stop experiencing it as random. The moon changes in cycles, seasons repeat, the sky shifts predictably, certain stars appear, disappear, and then return again. And once human beings started noticing that, something changed. The sky stopped feeling distant. Now it could be tracked, followed, interpreted. And maybe interpretation was always the important part, because astrology, at its core, wasn't really about controlling the future. It was about creating a relationship with uncertainty, a way of feeling connected to something larger than yourself. And honestly, we still do this now, just in different forms. We look for patterns everywhere, in personalities, in relationships, in timing, in coincidence. We want to know why certain things happen the way they do. Not because information is enough, but because meaning feels stabilizing. And maybe that's why astrology survived for so long. Not because people were rational, but because being human has never been only about logic. We don't just want to know what's happening, we want to feel oriented inside of it. And astrology offered that. It turned the sky into something readable, something personal, something emotionally involved with us. And maybe that's the part modern conversations miss. People often argue about astrology as if the only question is it scientifically correct? But maybe that's too small of a question, because even if something isn't objectively measurable, it can still reveal something about the human mind, about our need for structure, our need for orientation, our need to believe that our lives are connected to something beyond randomness. And honestly, randomness is difficult for people. We say we want freedom, unpredictability, endless possibilities. But psychologically, uncertainty exhausts us. So we create systems that help us emotionally organize reality. Mythology did that through stories. Astrology did it through patterns. And maybe modern life does it through data. But underneath all of them, the human need might be the same, to feel less lost inside the unknown. And maybe that's why astrology never fully disappeared. Because even now, in a world full of technology and information, people still search for signs, still search for timing, still search for meaning. We still ask questions like, why now? Why this person? Why did this happen the way it did? And maybe those questions are not really about prediction. Maybe they are about reassurance, a way of feeling that life is participating with us somehow, that we are not completely separate from it. But eventually, patterns were no longer enough. Human beings wanted certainty, proof, measurement, precision. It was no longer enough to feel connected to sky. Now we wanted to understand it without emotion, without interpretation, without ourselves inside of it. So we stopped asking what the sky meant and started asking what it was made of. We built tools, we measured distance, we tracked movement, we turned wonder into observation. And maybe that was the next shift. Not mythology, not interpretation, observation. Yes, it's the time, the era of astronomy is now.